Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Save Sessions with you today. The sessions you always want to save.
You almost sound robotic. Hey
This-
everyone, it is a save session, the session you always want to save. Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. But you had a good topic for us today. What was the topic again?
My topic was franchises that fumbled. Okay?
I thought you were about to hit me for a second.
I'm sorry. We've been fighting on it. To branch out and explain, we talked about fumbled shows on our last episode.
Basically,
But we're
what
going
started
to-
off as good, but then kind of went a little bad.
Yeah, and we're going to branch out a little bit more because, like, we just the rabbit hole was just rabbiting. You know, it was hopping along that bunny trail, getting the hole.
It was just digging and digging.
And to kick us off, TJ had some interesting ideas. I think you said it was Star Wars.
Star Wars, that's one of them. But first off, I want to rapid fire some ones that we've talked about in the past to just make sure, like, this is what we do think of them, but we want to make sure we don't just go back over them because we talked about them to death.
Time it.
One of them being Pokemon. We've already went over it. It was a great franchise. Now it's kind of fumbling. The new games look like they got promised, but yeah, they're kind of fumbling right now, even though they are pretty successful. Invincible, that started off fantastic with the comics and everything. The
New
show
game did just drop those, so if you like Invincible at all, check out that video game. We're
I haven't
not
heard that-
sponsored, by the way.
I haven't heard the game isn't that good.
I've heard mixed reviews on it.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't played it, so I can't really say anything on that.
free beta.
But before I talk about Star Wars, because Star Wars is going to be my big showstopper one.
It is okay. That makes sense.
But then, what I want to
let's put some sprinkles on that cupcake.
well, one I want to talk about mainly is what is happening with you today.
You said bring energy.
I'm bringing the energy, but you're
Bring it on!
sorry, wilding. But what my number one I want to talk about is Assassin's Creed.
Ass Creed.
Ass Creed.
Yes.
Assassin's Creed.
No jiggle. All cheek. Not cheeked up though.
Nothing but bone. But speaking of that, they made it a game. Ubisoft did Skull and Bones, and what I was hoping is it was going to be a lot more of Assassin's Creed Black Flag because that was the last one I remember being good.
Wasn't that game in production for like 4+ years?
It's the first quadruple A game, is what it was supposed to be, only for them to fumble it.
You know, it was crazy. So I have a story for that one, right? My buddy named, we're going to call him Pirate Man, actually. He knows who he is if he watches this. He sweared up and down that Skull and Bones was going to be that game.
I think I was there for that Discord call where it's like, it's gonna be gas, it's gonna be lit, y'all don't even know, just for it to be like, dog, you fell for the marketing. Just eyeball test, I can tell you that wasn't gonna be good.
He was one of them prime examples of like when Captain America fights people, right? And he gets his ass whooped the entire time. And he's just like, I can do this all day. Fight another fight later. I can do this all day. Later that day, I can do this all day. The next thing, I can do this all day. And it was kind of like that the whole time.
And then eventually gets to where he's like in an old folks home, he's like, do this all day. He's got an IV in him, and there's like, yes, you can, Steve. Now go to sleep.
Basically. And that was every delay was him going, I can do this all day. And it was just so hilariously painstaking because you got me and Knock over there. We just like, that game ain't gonna come out, bro. If that game comes out, we'll give you $20.
I knew the game was going to come. I knew the game was going to come out, but it was one of those things I can kind of know when a game's going to be, fumbled when it first comes out. And that game right away, I heard nothing but the reviews. I didn't play it, so I can't really say of the quality myself, but I can just say all these things that are just stupid. They gave a ship a stamina bar. How?
Maybe that's how many hits the boat can take, brother.
Basically, the whole game, from what it looked like, was just chores the game, but you do pyro-related chores. So it's just like, gamers like chores. They just like doing stupid, nonsensical things, till the game eventually is over. It's one of those things where it's kind of like, I guess maybe it was trying to have the mindset of like Minecraft or like Subnautica or something, like one of them survival games where you start with like I'm spitting, little to nothing, and then you just make your way up, through the ladder, through the world, and then by the start of the game, you have nothing. By the end of the game, if you're, actually managing your resources right, then you just have so many, great things that you built. I think Skull and Bones was trying to kind of be that, but at the same time, everything was just way too tedious to the point where no one wanted to play that.
Ironically, the one thing that Skull and Bones did that Concord couldn't was actually successfully released. Concord did.
Oh yeah, Concord's another one.
Dude,
again,
that was.
I didn't play it because I didn't have a chance to play it.
I didn't even know it. I promised to goodness and graciousness that I was sitting there. I was like, "What's Concord? What is that game?"
Yeah, it's just another hero shooter. No, it's just another hero shooter.
I thought it was like a promotional video of them trying to promote a game coming out.
But no, they tried to be like the Overwatch killer, where basically they had. I think they spent over $500 million on the game, on merchandise, on a show that was going to come out. They did the Overwatch thing where they had, Overwatch lore videos on YouTube where it showed, things of Overwatch that weren't in the actual game because, there was no story mode. Mm-hmm. And same thing with that, except, it flopped after 11 days. $500 million down the tube, and it didn't even last 11 days. One of the biggest failures in gaming history. That wasn't even the initial topic, but you are right. Those are two very similar, very fumbled things. But in terms of what's coming out now, like I said, Assassin's Creed, Black Flag was the last one I remember being good, because then I played the next two games. I didn't beat them, but I played, what was it?
That should tell you right there.
Mm-hmm. Assassin's Creed Origins, the one where... he's in Egypt. Mm-hmm. And yeah, one thing they did that baffles me is they changed up the combat system to where now it feels all floaty and imprecise. Because before they had a combat system where you just kind of waited your turn. You could do counters and stuff. Where basically I remember in Assassin's Creed 3, in all those games, and I believe Black Flag, it was kind of like a Batman Arkham game where you get a combo going and you just fling across the entire screen, just stabbing, attacking, stabbing, flying across the screen. You're stabbing, you're killing, you're stabbing, and everything is one shot.
It's honestly, as granted the video's about fumbling, the fluidity of all of that back in originals, I think it was perfected more in 2, 3, and it was.
Well,
I think
it wasn't like that until Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which was a sequel for Ezio. He actually had 2 sequel games, Brotherhood and
Revelation.
That was it. I never finished Revelation just because I got bored and I didn't understand what was happening.
All I know is Revelation is canonically the third one. Mm-hmm. But
no, the third one is Assassin's Creed 3.
Okay.
That's why it's called Assassin's Creed 3.
I thought it was Assassin's Creed 3 Revelation. Oh, no, that's the one with my boy in it. Not
Connor?
Edward. Yeah, Connor with the tomahawk. Mm-hmm. Dude.
Freedom is not a life worth living.
That was crazy. I love that game, dog.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe I forgot what it was.
Running through the trees and everything, yeah, that was pretty cool. But basically, those were the last good ones in my opinion. Especially, I just loved the Black Flag going through the sea, how the sea shanties, firing at people. But then you get to Origins, and then, now you're set in Egypt, and they changed the combat system to where it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like, a FromSoft game, but way too floaty and imprecise with, no impact, no feeling of impact. You're like this, it goes through, the enemy, and sure, the health bar goes down, but the enemy doesn't react, so everything just feels so floaty.
Yeah, so
it doesn't matter.
The equivalent of putting a cotton swab in your ear, even though you're not supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm. And then,
ironically, though, I'm sorry to cut you off. I do specifically remember Odyssey was the one after Origin, right?
Yes.
That game was garboder.
Yes, because they leaned more into it, but then they actually had a story that actually seemed like it was gaining a little bit of weight, but then it just keeps fumbling over and over again because of lackluster gameplay, lackluster world traversal.
Low-key, the character you play as is not that entertaining, and it just kind of seems like a giant, and I could be misremembering, which is fortunately very common, that your character is so disappointingly unenthusiastic and lackluster, and it just seems like a giant fetch quest of you.
That's actually something I saw that was a good comparison, and why Last of Us 2 sparked a lot of outrage when it first came out. But it's like, how can that game spark so much outrage? And yet, this Assassin's Creed game comes out. Everyone is mad about Last of Us Part 2 because it had good storytelling, and then people just didn't like whatever happened, or it was a controversial thing that happened. Something controversial happened in Assassin's Creed, no one gives a shit. Because it's Assassin's Creed. And then Assassin's Creed Shadow came out. I never played it, so I can't really say. But then I saw some clips of, I guess there was an Attack on Titans, like, collab DLC.
What?
Unless I'm misremembering.
Are you?
I shall ascend!
Telling me Assassin's Creed did an AOT collab?
I think so. Unless I'm
Sorry, that's how you know
misremembering.
it's bad. That's how you know it's bad. If you this is
And they
no
had the-
shade to Attack on Titan in the slightest, but Call of Duty did an Attack on Titan collab that was garbage. Rainbow Six Siege recently did a collab with Halo. Respectfully, the game is fun. It's still garbage though. And it's what's it called? Overwatch does collabs with anime all the time. Marvel Rivals is starting to, I think they're maybe entertaining the idea. But it's like usually when you collab with Attack on Titan, 9 times out of 10 the product sucks.
Yeah, and it wasn't good from what I saw. Unless I'm misremembering, it was different franchise. And so I'll put an editor's note saying, like, I'm stupid. I don't, and I, am misremembering.
It's okay.
But yeah, Assassin's Creed just isn't really what it used to be. And Ubisoft themselves are just fumbling game after game and franchise after franchise.
Well, no, that's EA. I was about to say Ubisoft or EA recently just got bought out. So
I think
the people who currently own whichever one, they're not helping
I
nothing.
think it was EA that got bought out, if I remember right.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but yeah, again, we'll editors note that in if we're wrong.
That's fine.
But yeah, that was my big one, is Assassin's Creed. What was great when it came out, but now the games just keep fumbling. And when you have a fan base that's really trying to...
This is low-key really hard. I'm sorry. Carry on.
I don't even understand what happened.
No, because it was tumbling and fumbling and blah, 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 blah.
I thought you were just
I was just doing...
I thought you were mimicking me because I talk with my hands a lot.
I do too.
But
Although, I will cut you off so we can talk about the next topic.
I was about to segue into it, but go ahead.
You're good. So, I was thinking about it, right? And this one is more targeted to the franchise of the movie section due to my topic being out of Transformers. I also will acknowledge that we haven't had a good Transformer game since Fall of Cybertron. If you know,
I played a demo of like a game that I thought was actually really good and actually got decent reviews, where it was more like more animated than it was
that
from
was
live.
the one made by Platinum Games. That one's really good too. So I guess there is another one before. But
Yeah,
Fall of
but
Cybertron is the hands down best Transformer game. I don't want to argue it because if you will, I will find you and I will transform on you. You don't want the smoke.
I was trying to get you to calm down, God. Calm down.
Okay, so
You got a bony neck, dude.
that was my head.
Was it?
Yeah,
Okay, that explains it.
yeah. I'm hard headed.
Yeah, thick ass skull. Jesus.
Thank you. She loves it.
But
As we were
Transformers.
saying, to correction, the best game of the Transformers franchise is the Fall of Cybertron game. The Platinum. It's based off the G1. It's a little Platinum Games. That one's a pretty solid pick too. Although I think the most recent games are kind of like mobile tie-ins, along with
Probably.
I think it was Rise of the Dark Spark, which was supposed to be a tie-in film for Transformer 4, or tie-in game to Transformer 4, which was terrible. But it was like...
So let's talk about the movies then.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is where I think they have fumbled the absolute most. Because the first movie was good. Second movie, pretty much same old, same old.
No. Incorrect. Second movie is hot garbage beans on a steel plate ready to get exploded in the microwave. Butt cheeks. Although, you know the scene. There's one scene in that whole film that takes it and cleans it. You got our Lord and Savior, Robo Jesus, sitting there just getting jumped, right? Just for him to be like,
You'll never stop at one. I'll take you all on.
I'll take you all on. And then it's like, he racially slurs Grindor, dog. He calls him
on the literal edge of your seat.
Okay? Y'all don't understand. Hardest thing. But you can't sit there and tell me Transformers 2 was good when they had a robot there was butterbean naked, slivering its tongue in the main character's neck. Garbage. Their roommate was a perv. Wheelie? That man is buns, and he's also a robotic perv. They already had one of those in there. My guy. And we talk about Jolt. Jolt only had 2 scenes in the whole film. Fun fact, the reason he only had 2 scenes in the whole film is because the car used actually kidnapped people.
You're going a million miles per hour. You're getting like super close to me. I'm like, Yeah, when you get mad about a franchise, you get fucking pissed, dude.
I know.
You're crying.
Transformer 3 was pretty solid, I think. That was the Battle of New York. That was kind of cool. Although I don't like how they did Shockwave, because he went from Decepticons.
I didn't see I saw everyone up to the last night. After that, I stopped watching the Transformers movies. Because, why are you raising your hand?
Transformer 5 actively makes me want to commit a war crime. I wanted my money back after I saw that movie.
Then why didn't you get it back?
They wouldn't give it back because I stayed the entire duration.
Why are you still crying?
It's Transformers 5. I can't do it. They fumbled because, dog, every film that Michael Bay did was not great because they never explained what happened to the robots in the end of every movie. Because, for example, Jazz dies in the first one. That's fine. Like the new bots coming to Earth through a cutaway. That's perfectly fine. Where's RC in Transformers 3? Where's Skids and Mudflap in Transformers 3?
Yeah, Mudflap.
Exactly. Racial robot to the T. Rocking stereotypes. That was great. And then I
remember at some point they had a samurai one for some reason that
he was
just
a Decepticon, by the way.
And he became a good guy because they were killing off Transformers.
No, because of the Bushido Code. He really liked the Bushido Code.
You see that was never truly explained in the movies. That is kind of the problem. That new Transformers, the only consistent ones were Starscream, Megatron, Optimus, and Bumblebee were the only 4 consistent ones.
I wouldn't even say Optimus is consistent. Yes, he is Robo Jesus. But don't get that twisted. That man's a war criminal.
Yeah, I mean consistent are the only consistent and recurring characters.
But he's not consistent. He's consistent in the Bayverse as a homicidal maniac. I agree. But as Optimus Prime portrayals, that man is a walking sin. Okay, we don't like that. That man's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Garbodor. I hate that Pokemon, by the way.
I feel like there's worse ones out there. I mean, it's not worse than Quackquavel.
Yeah. Although, I will say, the Bumblebee with John Cena in it, that was arguably one of the funniest movies. It wasn't great.
And Haley Steinfeld.
That's who that was?
Yes.
Fooled me. I was like, wow, who's this raggedy old kid in this movie? Never seen this child before.
She wasn't even a kid. I'm pretty sure she was like 25.
She looks like a kid. Although she married probably one of the greatest fumblers of all football history, but let's not talk about that. Am I mad about the Super Bowl? Yes!
Let's bring it in, dog.
Yeah, no, you're right. Bumblebee was a breath of fresh air for the franchise because that first G1 scene was really good. A lot of the fight scenes were good, and then John Cena's memorable quote of, Decepticon is in the name. Like, deception's in their name. Why is no one questioning this? Like, a question I've had my entire life of the franchise. Rise of the Beast was cool. It was super confusing, though. And then Transformer 1 was criminally thrown under the bus because I think maybe the art style and it's the other guy, Key and Peele, like the bald one, the skinnier one. He was the voice of Bumblebee, and I think that threw a lot of people off too. But that's still one of the best movies out to date. And then there's like a recent comic that just dropped too about.
So you think maybe they're a little bit on the upswing, but we'll have to see where it goes.
They might be on that swing because their newest comic is pretty cool. Transformers 1 was pretty solid, but they got canceled, so the Transformer, they're not getting another one, and that's another thing. That's another reason why it's fumbled, because they keep getting stuff canceled and they can't find someone to consistently produce something good. Games, films, the comics are fine, the toys are fine for the most part, but video game wise and movie wise, is consistency.
I stopped fucking with the toys when they started transforming themselves. I'm like, that was the coolest part, is that you went in and you transformed them yourself.
Yeah.
But now they can transform themselves. Especially the expensive ones. You're like, hey, Optimus, transform. It goes, go, does it itself. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But part of the fun was figuring out, how do you do this?
Dude, I'm not going to lie to you. I like the combiners because they remind me of Megazords, and all I can think about is like Power Ranger theme songs is going like exactly. Although we're gonna give back the ball back to you, bro. We're gonna pass it. Sorry, I think I hit your knee like twice.
You've been hitting my knee the whole time.
I'm pseudo less sorry now. But you had another idea.
Another one. Since we're transitioning a little bit to movies now, I want to talk about the MCU in general. I was a big fan of the MCU. Phase 1 through 3, I thought were absolutely amazing. Were like the gold standard of comic book movies. Sure, they had some fumbles here and there, but basically, in my opinion, they were just a little bit lower quality than really outright bad. I didn't think any of them were outright bad, but I did think some were better than others and some were worse than others. But now, I would never complain about Thor: The Dark World, knowing that Thor: Love and Thunder exists now. I was so excited for Thor: Love and Thunder. They had, I can't really sing it or play it here, but they had the Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine, going off.
Can I be honest with you?
What?
I only remember that movie because of that song and the screaming goats.
But then you had Gore, the God Killer. And basically it starts off really good. You had Christian Bale, who is owning every single scene he's in. And
I have a counter. He owned a lot of scenes that we also didn't see.
That was gonna get to my point. I didn't interrupt you, May.
I know, but I'm excited.
Man. But yeah, Thor the God Killer. The first scene he comes in, his land is nothing but desolate and wasteland, and natural apocalypse is happening every single day. And then he finally found, his God. And he's like, please, I have been worshiping you since I was a young lad. Please grant me sanctuary here since I've been worshiping you my whole life or whatever. And then the God just laughs in his face like, I don't care about you. I don't care about the people. Screw off. And Gore just somehow finds, the God-killing sword. Blink, kills him and then absorbs his power. And he's like, all gods shall die. That whole scene, in my opinion, was wonderfully done. Mainly because it shows, there are good gods and there are bad gods, but then every single time the movie gets going, it has to stop for some dumbass joke. Marvel banter has always been something that's kind of in Marvel, where Marvel's banter has always been something that's in Marvel. Wow, I just had an aneurysm. Anyway.
What? That's easy.
I just had a seizure. Jesus Christ.
Wait. Shocking.
But Marvel banter's always been in the movies, but that's something that kind of breaks up, maybe a tense moment with like a little bit of a joke. So, you don't think it's that tense. But then the whole entire movie is nothing but bad pun after a bad pun after a bad pun. Anytime the movie gets going with something really cool, like, Thor goes up to one of his friends, and this lady, she's dying, and she's like, at least I'll get into Valhalla, and he's like, no, you won't. She's like, what, I won't? Yeah, because, you died here, inhonorably, and you didn't die in combat, so, you're just going to hell. What happened to the Thor from Infinity War? Where he was, in the ship with Groot and Rocket, and he was about to cry, saying, my people were slaughtered, and I am going to kill the bastard that killed half of my people. Like, I've lost my father, my mother, my brother, half my people. I have little to nothing left. So, what more can I lose? And it's like, this is a scene with a talking raccoon and a talking tree, and yet I'm taking it more seriously than anything in Love and Thunder. Make that make sense.
The copium is just really, really good.
Mm-hmm. That's like, now I just think Thor has always been a great character, but they keep fumbling him. And it's not just him. Doctor Strange movie, now that I think about it, Multiverse of Madness wasn't that good. I loved it when it came out, but as time has gone, I'm like, yeah, it didn't age the greatest.
Honestly, I think that movie was terrible because, like, we got the John Krasinski dude, the guy from Office. He finally gets to play a Marvel scene for him to get, like, 2 minutes and die. And then you had the one chick be Captain America. Wasn't she Thor in Love and Thunder?
No.
No. That's Cap's love interest. What's her name?
No. That's oh god, I'm misremembering. There's so many female characters. Oh my god. Because I know Natalie Portman, who also played Padme in Star Wars, was Thor's love interest. But Peggy. Okay. Because I was like, you have the redhead lady who was Captain America. She was split
in half by a shield. Like,
well, yeah, she was also from What If, so it was kind of a big deal. What If came out with Peggy Carter being Captain America instead of Steve, and then in the movie it shows she might be from that timeline, or that might be the same timeline, or whatever, or it's just a multiverse that happens to have her.
Question I just realized.
What?
How did the black Captain Marvel show up in Captain Marvels when she got crushed in the?
That's not the same character.
Oh,
because it's not the same person.
I think it is.
No, it's not.
I'm pretty sure
it's not.
I think it is.
Dog, I saw both those movies. I sat through both of those garbages. They are not the same character. There's a black Captain Marvel, sure, but then the Captain Marvel we see from Marvels was in WandaVision, and she got her powers from WandaVision.
Origin story.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So we got her, and then we had Miss Marvel, which I used to be that person that I wanted to see everything from Marvel. But then when I realized I am not enjoying my watch of She-Hulk or Miss Marvel, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I don't like what I'm watching. I'm just watching because I want to be that Marvel guy. I'm like, I don't care anymore. This is bad. I have to flat out admit, this is bad. And then I liked Miss Marvel as a character. I just thought her show was so incredibly boring. Like, barely anything was happening. And then the Marvels came out, and what really pisses me off about that movie, is they treat you again like you are stupid. You, the audience, you, the watcher, are stupid. Why? Because they have this planet on there. This is just one of the many things that are wrong with the movie, in my opinion. But they have a planet that communicates purely through music. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like, rhymes and rhythms become the language. So how does that work?
Rappers would go crazy there, wouldn't they?
They go there, and I'm like, oh, they're dancing. The dancing is kind of like sign language. It can match a mood. I'm like, that's pretty interesting. You know what they do? They start singing in English. So it's just like, hey, they're like, I'm singing. And it's like, hey, Bruce, how are you? Like, I can't understand you. What are you saying? Hey, Bruce, how are you? Oh, I can understand you now, bud. It's like, it's English. It's English. They are speaking in English. They are singing in English. It does not make sense. That's like in SpongeBob when he's like,
I can't understand your accent.
Next bus to Bikini Bottom.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
It is that level of stupid, but in SpongeBob it was meant to be a joke. Here it's meant to be serious. What the fuck? Oh my god.
This was awesome. Is this what I look like? Okay, well, since he just exhausted his bandwidth.
No, I can still keep going.
That's scary.
But that was just, now it's just the Marvels. Everything else has been bad, like Ant-Man Quantumanium sucks. I wanted to see something great of that. We saw MODOK cheeks.
I have that picture saved in my phone.
Why would you say that?
So I can send it to people and be like, you're having a bad day. At least you don't have this guy's butt. Hank Hill got more yams.
So yeah, that shows. I mean, I think it's kind of back on an upswing. Thunderbolts is pretty good. I did not care for the new Fantastic Four movie, but a lot of other people did.
Can we just acknowledge that Ironheart is terrible?
Ironheart, I never saw it, but I do not like when she said, "Do you think Tony Stark would be Iron Man if he wasn't a billionaire?" No shade. And then it cuts to that scene where it's his boss saying,
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
it's like, him in that cave is what made him Iron Man.
You want to know? I'll give you the brief rundown of Ironheart.
Okay, I might watch it later.
You don't want to.
I might.
No. I need you to understand. If you got this mad at Captain, you're going to get this mad at an entire series. Because it's all it is. Her being mad, she has no money. Doing things very bad and illegal with no moral compass as borderline villainous to get set money, then makes shady deal with villain of basically the entire show. So
she wants to make bad decisions and then wonder why bad things are happening.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like, we have a friend, we're not going to mention them by name, but they do that, where they basically say to us like, hey, I made this bad decision, how bad things are happening. Stop making the bad decision. Oh, okay. Goes and makes a bad decision. Like, it happened again, like, no shit. But yeah, that's kind of the thing, Mark. They're kind of on an upswing. Like I said, Thunderbolts I actually thought was pretty good. Fantastic Four, I didn't think it was that great, but a lot of other people liked it.
Me personally, I think I'm just burnt out on Pedro Pascal. That's the only reason why I didn't want to see it.
Maybe. And then, I'm sorry, dude, that new Daredevil show is peak. I just watched episode 4 that just came out. Dude. Okay, yeah, we got some retribution for the show. I'm not going to say anything about it because it's spoiler. The fact that you look at me in the eye. Yeah. But yeah, I think it is kind of getting back on an upswing. But yeah, that's kind of franchise that's fumbling, and I'm hoping they find their footing soon. Because right now, I am not excited to see Secret Wars or Doomsday, just because it feels like they're just throwing... You remember this. It's like in South Park, they had these berries that are like member berries, where it's like, you remember this? You remember that?
Oh, and remember Bionic Man? Remember Chewbacca again? Oh, I love to remember Chewbacca.
It's like, it's not good, but sure, I remember that. Yeah, but then again, that was my rant on one of my franchises. Let's get you one more.
We got two rants in. That's crazy. Captured in film. I will be fair. My last one, I'll be chill. I promise. My last one, I think. Granted, the series is ended and we're currently in the sequel. I think Naruto, honestly, is kind of fumbled.
I would say more the verse, because Naruto, from what I understand, ended really good. It's Boruto that people aren't, afraid. He named his son after a food. How stupid is he?
I mean, his name's after the fishy rice cakes and bowls of ramen.
I thought it was just a burrito.
Well, that's Naruto's. Naruto is little fishy sun things with the little pink lines that be in ramen all the time. The fish cakes, that's what they're called. He's named after a fish cake.
I mean, Naruto enjoyed his ramen, I guess.
He did. That's kind of crazy. Free $15 a bowl, and then he got that for free. Let him cook. But like you said, to branch out on my claim, because it's one of my favorite animes ever. As there's a bunch of Naruto memorabilia in here, you can't see it yet. Maybe one day if you're lucky.
Yeah, he's got a whole trophy like behind the camera with a bunch of Naruto.
A lot of things weren't really handled with the show that well. Case in being Sakura's existence as a whole, she needs to be erased. Granted, she's the strongest medical ninja ever in the verse, but it's the filler, which they fumbled that because like they could have cut it out.
Like I think I saw like something on Instagram where someone said like over 90% of Boruto is actually technically filler.
The anime, yes. And that was another thing I was getting. Like, the Great Ninja War arc was fumbled, in my opinion, because there's a whole bunch of plot holes, inconsistencies, and, like, random things started but not finished. I guess that would be considered a plot hole. Not to mention, when we go over to the sequel series, a.k.a. Boruto. Boruto, the anime, if you like the filler, good for you. I had to drop it because of the filler. And I didn't even know what was happening 20% of the time. And I only watched it 30% of the time. So I was sitting there just so confused. And then the whole time, Sasuke and Boruto go sent back in time to see Kid Naruto. But Jiraiya and Itachi knew who Sasuke were. But somehow Boruto and Naruto couldn't distinguish that they were related because they're the only motherfuckers in the verse that have the same hair color.
I thought you were going to be more chill.
I am.
That's I don't know. We're ramping up.
And then
I heard the engine.
To really send me over, bro. I'm sorry I did lie about it. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections is by far the worst thing conceived in Master Peace's mind. The devil couldn't have even made that. And he's not even satisfied with that because that's how buns that concept of a game is. They took out so much stuff from Storm 4. They made the infamous tilts, secondary chakra moves that were free in the previous game. Then they gave us a half-baked attempt of explaining the story with still frame cutscenes. That'd be like the equivalent of me and TJ going like this, and all you see is scribbles going like, and afterwards they were having an entire conversation about X, Y, and Z. That's the equivalent of it. Not to mention, bro, all the love and attention and detail that was in the past 4 games, because 1 and 4 are the best in the franchise, and if you argue that, you're retarded, respectfully. 3 was great too, because they self-inserted an ending, even though the series didn't get that far. But Connections is like, I knew that game was gonna be bad, just off of they just smashed all of them together. They didn't include none of the features, none of the beneficial costumes. If you played the previous games, there was no benefit to that. And all it was, you have to pay $60 to replay 1 through 4 on a single disc. Nothing new was added and more things were taken away than added. And then the Boruto story was so predictable that it was painful. Like, the big bad in the Boruto story is just a different iteration of Sasuke. And for some reason he has a bunch of scars and bandages on his face, because who's alive in the Naruto verse who's an Uchiha and has a Sharingan eye that has the ability to use both of them to get him Mangekyo? At that point in time, Sasuke. That is the only guy that is alive. The Boruto manga is a lot better. The first half of it is still painfully slow. And then the anime, all the filler. After that, though, once you hit Blue Vortex, which is effectively part 2 of Boruto, because there's 2 parts. Part 1 is when he's a kid. Part 2 is when he, gets to the eye, a scar. He has Sasuke's sword, and he's like, looks way cooler. Hits the fan and gets way better at that point. And then as Naruto content goes, on top of what the games and the medias and stuff, like, it's just crickets. Granted, all the tensions on Boruto, but like Boruto also at least in my opinion, Boruto is also crickets. So we're kind of just a franchise widely not loved in the West. Like, you could argue top 5 most loved animes in the West is Naruto. Most people I know is Naruto. If it's not Naruto, it's Dragon Ball Z, and minority is One Piece and Bleach.
That was a pretty good rant. We kind of fell a little off topic for that one, but the last one I want to talk about, and I want to talk about more of the movies, because the shows are kind of 50-50 at this point. They seem to do where they drop a banger show, then they drop a shitty show, banger shitty, and it's Star Wars. I'm going to specifically talk about the movies because here's a big hot take. This is going to piss a lot of people off. Fight me. Prequels sucked. the prequels sucked, but what sucked even worse were the sequels.
Okay, so to frame this conversation, are you saying that the sequel of the prequels are bad, or
No,
are you saying
there's
the
two.
original?
There's basically 3 trilogies: the OG, and then there's the prequel. There's the prequel series, and then there's I don't have any more hands. Yeah. Then there's the sequel trilogy. See, because the prequel trilogy tells what happened before with Anakin, Obi-Wan, the Old Republic, everything. But then the sequel trilogy happened after the original trilogy. Basically showing what happened after Luke, Han Solo, Darth Vader, everything. And while I don't think the original, not the original, but the prequel trilogy was that good. I don't think it's that good. But what you can still feel in that, there is still passion behind it to tell a good story. It's fumbled in its execution, but at least there is a story to tell. Because the story of Anakin can still get you, even if you didn't think, what's his name? Aiden Christensen, I think, is who played Darth Vader. I could be wrong about that. I don't think, maybe. But hey, he played Anakin as just such a whiny loser, but then Clone Wars came up and kind of made up for it. But Clone Wars kind of helped save it. But the sequel trilogy, nah, that's buns. Except, another hot take, I actually really like Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I actually thought that was a good start-off point. Sure, it was a little safe, but it was something we needed to branch off into something new. But then, they got a new director for some reason for The Last Jedi. And then you're like, okay, so what's this going to be about? They basically had every plot point they tied it up in the second movie and 180'd and retconned all the other ones. I'm like, okay, so the thing is, Rey's parents, again, they treat you like you're stupid. They treat you like you are an idiot viewer. You are an idiot, you love Star Wars, and you're going to watch whatever filth we bring out.
That's when you put the clip of, I'm an idiot sandwich. I'm an idiot sandwich.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
What are you? An idiot sandwich. That's what the filmmakers think you are. Because
What kind of bread?
What kind of bread?
Sourdough.
I was thinking the exact same thing. But no, I like sourdough.
Never tried sourdough.
It's really good. You probably have and probably didn't realize. Most restaurants actually use sourdough for their buns, for like hamburger buns. But basically where I'm going with that is the biggest plot that pisses me off is that they jangle keys in front of you because the jangling keys are Rey's parents. And the first one you see, Rey's parents abandon her on this planet, Tatooine. Oh, no, not Tatooine, Jakku. Dangling keys like, who are her parents? Who are her parents? Like, but you'll have to figure out next time. Actually, no. I got you. It's like, who are her parents? Dangling keys, who are her parents? You'll find out next movie. And then it's like, hey. And then it's like, the second movie, the whole movie, jingling keys. Who are her parents? Who are her parents? Who are her parents? They're nobody. They were nobody. They were drunks selling you for drug money. No, they were drunks. They sold you for drug money. They never cared about you. Your parents ain't shit. You're connected to nobody. You're not special.
Did you mean to launch your keys or did they slip?
No, I meant to.
Oh, I thought they slipped. I was like, you're continuing on the bit.
Yes, because that was intentional. Because that's basically what they did. And then the next one, they're like, no, wait, sorry, no, Jiggly Keys. Who are Rey's parents? Who's Rey's parents? Like, we answered this in the previous one. They were drunks, nobodies. But then Kylo Ren, who told her they were nobody, is like, no, who are they? Who are they? And Palpatine shows up and it's like, hey, yes, you've come to me for answers, but first, what I'm going to tell you is I've created the final order, to destroy everything because I'm evil and we don't know what we're doing anymore. Because I was behind everything all along. You didn't see me in the shadows, but trust me, I was there. Dio. You think it was me, but you think it was that, but it was me, Dio. Palpatine, sorry, force a habit. But then, and finally, we go back to Rey. And it's like, who are her parents? Who are they? But guess what? They, either the father or the mother, I don't know, was was related to Palpatine. So Palpatine is technically Rey's grandfather. Spoilers, by the way. Was Rey... Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter. And you know why? Because they were important, but because they were important, they had to act like they were unimportant, thus showing how important they were. You think I'm talking to you like you're stupid, but that's how the movie fucking explains it! Yeah, the movie explains it to you like that, like you're stupid. And everyone's like, it's one of those things that's trying to subvert expectation time after time. But after time, it's like, but then we're just going over the same shit again and again that was already tied up by characters who have some weight within the universe just to find out they didn't know shit. And then they pulled the Avatar state on us within Star Wars, where all the spirits of the dark side, of all the Sith, were in Palpatine and just shooting lightning at her. And then she goes, well, yeah? Well, counter back. I'm all the Jedi. And all the spirits of the Jedi. And you hear the voices of all the Jedi going through Rey as she's slowly going towards him. You know what he's doing? Shooting lightning. It's like, okay, Palpatine, you're all-powerful. You came back a bajillion times. What are you going to do different? He's like, yeah, I'm going to keep shooting lightning. As she's getting closer and closer and closer. I'm like, Palpatine, she's getting close. I'm like, what are you doing here? Do something different. You know what she does? She brings out another lightsaber. Bah! And reflects all the lightning back at him, basically killing him. Like,
I'm all the Jedi.
Palpatine's main kryptonite, he just can't stop shooting his lightning. He's like, hey, I'm firing my lightning. That's all he does. That's all he's known for. You got us, movie makers. That's all Palpatine is. That's all he's known for. He's not some mass manipulator chess master. I saw a post where basically Palpatine was who took over everything because he was a chancellor for the Old Republic and he was also Darth Sidious. So he was playing both sides. He was playing 3D chess with. It's like that old Pixar short where it's that old guy in a park and he's playing chess just to find out he's playing himself. And he's playing two different people while he's doing it. That's Palpatine. But he just can shooting his lightning. Like that's all he can do. And then guess what? Rey dies. She fucking dies. And then Kylo Ren comes up, who is now a good guy who regrets killing his father. And they introduced a new force healing power, which takes away from your life force in order to heal them, which is fine, a concept. It's something that's never really been in Star Wars except for like 1 or 2 games, which is an okay concept to introduce into this movie, but then heals her, and then she's like, Ben, you saved me! And then they make out straight suck down each other's tongue, and then you're just sitting there like, oh my god, that was so stupid. But okay, they've never really had any hint of a relationship in the past, so let's see how this goes. You know what he does? Bah! Vanish. That's when Thanos snapped the Infinity Stone. I am inevitable. And then, he goes, and then he just dies, becomes a Force ghost. It's like, okay, so I guess we're not going to explore whatever the fuck that was. And then, finally, she goes back to Luke's home, buries his and Anakin's lightsaber, and then this lady comes around and says, who are you? She goes, I'm Rey. She goes, Rey who? Rey? She goes, looks up to the sky, and she sees Luke, Leia, and Ben, and I think maybe Anakin. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but she sees the Force ghost of all of them and says, I'm Rey. Skywalker. And they leave in that long pause for some reason for her to say, Skywalker. Because I'm like, don't you do it. And Rey Skywalker. I'm like, I'm done. I am done. I am so done. I am done with this franchise, with this movie. And I'm like, so you're a Skywalker now, even though Luke wanted nothing to do with you. Leia could have trained you, but she didn't. Kylo Ren tried to kill you, only to bring you back, suck down your tongue, and then fucking die. And then the whole point of the movie was that it doesn't matter who you're related to. Who you were related to in the past doesn't make you who you are now. I'll need to go back on the word because now she's a Skywalker. I am lightheaded. Oh my god.
Well, you heard that yourself, folks. That's just, some things that we think have fumbled.
Those are some fumbled. The shows are coming out good. Now, the Darth Maul show is actually really good. Acolyte takes a second. Not Acolyte. Andor. Acolyte was terrible. Acolyte shit. But, what you call it?
Yeah, make sure you guys
like, save, and subscribe.
Scribble.